Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. In my opinion, good news. Since we have so many large publishers currently going under, laying people off, closing studios, and so forth, it's really exciting to see a point where one of the studios actually goes ahead and frees itself before they can suffer the same fate. In this case, we have Moon Studio, the producers of Ori and the Blind Forest, and they currently have, I believe, No Rest for the Wicked up as early access on Steam, pulling themselves free of the publisher that they were a part of before, they could really meet their end. And that includes negotiating with them for the rights to publish their game, No Rest for the Wicked. Now, they started this when 2K Games sold their subsidiary Private Division. However, after that sold, they closed Roll7 and Intercept Games. At that point, Moon Studios thought it was probably a really good idea to go ahead and just make sure they could secure their own survival. So they spent months in negotiation immediately and are now fully independent and have secured the publishing rights for No Rest for the Wicked. That is actually a really intelligent move on their part. I kind of wonder how many studios just don't see that that's a smart move for themselves before they get called out, or if they just don't think it can happen to them. I have to wonder how many get caught by surprise and get themselves shut down. Tango Gameworks is one that does come to mind, and the fact they were rescued by Krafton is great, but what do we see from them next? That's what I'm curious about. But to coincide with this announcement, Moon Studios has released a showcase for No Rest for the Wicked, and I figured we'd go ahead and take a look at it. Now, just for those who don't know, No Rest for the Wicked is an action RPG. It's set to be they actually define it as a visceral precision RPG with a lot of emphasis on the combat and battle mechanics. I know that I've seen Thomas Mahler, who is one of the co-founders of Moon Studios, talking a lot about how he wants the combat in the game to be, and asking questions of the people on how to improve it. Let's go ahead and go take a more look at this breach.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas.
And I'm Gennady. Welcome to our second Wicked Inside.
We know a lot of you have been eagerly waiting to hear more from us since we shipped our last major content update.
Right after early access launch, we spent weeks listening intently to your feedback while putting out numerous hotfixes and patches.
Then, after we felt that No Rest for the Wicked was in a good spot, we launched our first big content update, The Crucible.
Yes! With The Crucible, we introduced fresh enemies, brand new systems, and a fun mode to keep everyone entertained while we began work on our next major content update. But it's been a while since then, and today we'd like to explain why.
Our publisher for No Rest for the Wicked was Private Division, a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive.
Take-Two decided to sell off Private Division, which was unexpected news for us. After some deliberation, we saw an opportunity.
After months of negotiations, we reached an agreement to buy the publishing rights for No Rest for the Wicked back so that Moon Studios could become fully independent. This legal process took time, and we couldn't say much while it was all happening.
But today, we're excited to announce that it's all done and that Moon Studios is now fully independent. We believe this will give you even more confidence in our vision, because we're free to build No Rest for the Wicked exactly how we want.
That's actually really nice to see that they are focused on the idea of being able to build their game how they want without needing a publisher hovering over them. And while I do think to some degree a lot of studios think it's easier with that person holding their hand, and for some of them it may be, it does come with a degree of control that you have to deal with. Something that I say quite often, it's basically whoever holds the purse strings gets the most control. It sucks sometimes, but it is kind of the way it is. Also, that banana next to him is hilarious.
Without needing to ever go silent again.
We've used this extra time to create something truly special. Let's take a look at The Breach.
The Breach represents the biggest content update we have ever shipped. We have heard you loud and clear. You wanted more out of our campaign. You wanted more story, more zones to play in, more enemies to fight, more bosses to test your mettle against. In short, more of everything.
That sounds like gamers. Gamers almost always want more. So it appears No Rest for the Wicked really got a very large content update. They've increased the amount of zones. They've expanded on the story. Kind of makes me wish I'd played it so far so that I could give more of an idea of what's going on. But it does look like they've put in a lot of work on this. And I do think the actual graphics involved here look quite nice. They're very proud of the fact that they haven't used any generative AI or anything. The fact that it's all handcrafted. They really want to make sure that people feel that the game itself that they're playing really matters. And since it matters to them, I think that really does kind of come through. That's something that we're missing in game design today, is game designers who actually just love what they're doing and do it with passion. That is one of those things that absolutely, ooh, that was cool, that absolutely, oh, cool. All right. The battle in this looks really cool. I might have to try this at some point. Sorry, I got off track though, watching this and talking at the same time. But yeah, the passion in a game really shows through, and that is a big part of what's going on today. I'm not sure the people who are working on games are actually passionate about it. And that really shows through. What they're passionate about isn't the game or the gaming or the gameplay. They're passionate about the message they're trying to send. And they're passionate about making sure that people understand the message they're trying to send in exactly the way they're trying to send it, as opposed to actually trying to help people understand in a more subtle way. Though in fairness with those people, they can't exactly be more subtle because then they wouldn't understand it. The combat does seem very fluid, though. If people like it, this video enough times, maybe I'll go ahead and buy it and play it on stream at some point. I do the Thursday night streams where I play games. We're probably going to end up going back to Baldur's Gate now that I beat Gory, though hopefully my stream will maintain this time instead of crashing out like it has. I'm hoping I have that problem fixed, and I do apologize to everybody for having so many problems with it. I thank everybody for sticking with me, but we will be getting back to that this Thursday. They certainly do a lot of detailing of this. I wonder if they're not doing a bit too much realistically. I'm sure they're keeping a lot from what you can see, but damn, they're talking a lot about this game. Apparently, they did examine the replayability of their game, wanting to make sure that people want to play the game more and get the full value from it. It is early access right now, so a lot of things will probably continue to change. And replayability, honestly, for a early access game is even more important, because who wants to buy an early access game and then when they're finally done not want to play it? Though I have to wonder how often that actually happens. Looks like they've done quite a bit to their systems. They've upgraded their crafting, revamped drops. They have new weapon rarity, Masterworks, which is cool. I know people like crafting, so it's always good to see when they help increase that kind of thing. And especially when they help it grow throughout the process of playing a game, as opposed to just tying certain things to the game. Oh God, it's an interesting character. Hardcore character mode. Death is final. Interesting. So now they have permadeath on if you choose that hardcore mode. So once you're dead, you're dead. And they get downgraded to non-hardcore characters that can only be played in regular realms. That's an interesting challenge. And of course, you know, with any early access game, they polish things up and added quality of life updates. What that means, well, it would be interesting to find out. Now, let's say if this video can get 50 likes, I'll buy the game and play it on stream. For the number of views I get, that should be a fair amount, I think. Not really the best at action RPGs, but this is interesting enough that if people wanted to see me play it, I would definitely enjoy playing it and talking to everybody. I did see people in their tweet earlier complaining that the co-op was supposed to be before the breach, and they are talking about that and the fact that it will be still coming. I know people get irritated with the game design or with computer games specifically. I tend to be a little more lenient myself just because I understand quite a bit of coding, and it's not always as easy as you think. People just want things to work, and I get that. You know, when you're a customer, you want to buy things and you want them to work the way you expect them to work, and you want them when you want them. You don't want to wait. When you understand a little bit more about it, it's easier to understand that something can come up and cause problems that were unanticipated. And then at that point, you have to make the decision, do you delay, or do you maybe put something else out ahead of time, or what you can do. But it is what it is. I do love Ori and the Will of the Wisp. It's one of my favorite games. It was a fantastic game. If you haven't played that, you absolutely should. And this is exciting. If you've played Ori and the Will of the Wisp or Ori and the Blind Forest, the music in that game is fantastic. So it appears they got a hold of the composer who wrote a lot of that music and are inviting him into No Rest for the Wicked. So from what I've heard of the trailers on that, it's already pretty good. It'll be really interesting to see where they go. The score in Ori is fantastic. It really is. Yeah, well, that's kind of that. I know this is kind of an odd video, but I just finished a 4+ hour stream on the Offensive Charm podcast. So honestly, I'm a little tired, but I wanted to get something out, and this seemed like, well, it was something I was interested in talking about and taking a look at. I have no problem with early access games, so yeah, if people seem interested in me playing this, I will play it on stream. 50 likes and I'll do it. It shouldn't be too hard. I don't anticipate it getting there, so I may end up buying it anyway. We will see. That said, there will be a stream this Thursday again, but I will also be doing a 12-hour stream on my Horror Amarada channel from 12 noon Mountain Time to 12 midnight Mountain Time with my fiance. I'm doing a wedding fundraiser stream. We're going to play Split Fiction. I managed to talk him into it. So please stop over there, subscribe, and stop by and just watch. I don't expect anybody to actually give any money, but if you happen to, we would be very grateful. Just kind of helps us out a little bit with wedding expenses. All that said, thank you guys so much for being here, for watching these videos. I deeply appreciate the fact that you spend any amount of time here with me. But let me know what your thoughts are on No Rest for the Wicked, The Breach. Have you played the game? Are you interested in the game? Are you interested in watching me play the game? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.